was a lot of new innovative ideas, and some that stood out was some of the items that were deconstructed. So one of the most interesting was a twist on a Harvard Beet Cake, where the student took beets, pureed them, added some fine chopped chocolate, and baked it. So something that was as simple as a cupcake was really elevated to what I would even consider a first-class option for a dessert.
One recommendation was, as I have to prepare one meal, like food to go, so I prepared this cupcake made of beetroot and some spices like cloves, cinnamon, and on top is buttercream, vanilla, and some berries around. My menu is for millennials. I make some little research and noticed that young people want to eat healthy. I prepared the menu like this, and also they want that they can show what they eat and make some pictures and put it on the Instagram. Or the appetizer is like a quinoa bowl with shrimps and with some pickled vegetables. This is a chicken fillet seared on a pan. Underneath is celery puree and also some Swiss chard sautéed and some vegetable fries.
In front here we have appetizer, which is also supposed to be resembling mushroom parcelle, which is puff pastry usually stuffed with mushroom duxelle. You see them at all the banquets and parties and everything. This is a deconstructed version of that and a reimagination kind of in the same way. Instead of the puff pastry, we have flaxseed crisps and mushrooms just, grilled a little bit with some olive oil and a little herb dressing and some semi-dried tomatoes. So for the main dish, we have a take on shrimp and grits, creamy polenta on the bottom, some chili shrimp, some chili purees. Underneath the shrimp, there's also some Holy Trinity relish, which is carrots or celery, onions, and peppers, a little bit that have just been pickled for a little bit. This is kind of a representation of all of those flavors from shrimp and grits, the spice, the heat from the chilies. This is a deconstructed version of an apple pie. So you have in here some roasted apples that have just been seared lightly and then finished in the oven with some white wine and some sugar. Some pavlovas that have been torched, or pavlova, sorry. Apple puree on the bottom, some apple gastrique, and then little tiny shortbread crisps that have some sugar glazed around them. Kind of all the compounding flavors of an apple pie, just completely away from each other. So when you take the bites, the full bite of it, it's reminiscent of apple pie, like your mom's apple pie.
Well, something else that I liked was that they not only, changed things, deconstructed things, but they also took something from one region and adopted it to another region. So something traditional like an Italian arancini, which is like a risotto ball that's breaded, it has like peas and ground beef in it, served with a marinara sauce. What he did was he did the same concept, but instead he put in braised short ribs, did a nice parsnip puree, so it really turned it into a comfort dish. So all the elements were the same, but he just went ahead and modified it so this way it had a completely different flavor profile, texture profile, and visual. So it was something that really stood out that I really put a lot of thought into it.
The guidelines for the meal are for the Silver Society, which are people 60 and plus in age. And also, we had to have one special meal, which was low sodium, which was a dessert for me. But for the appetizer, started out with a deconstructed short rib and risotto dish. So we have some fried arancinis on parsnip puree with a carrot puree and peas. For the main course, we have a deconstructed chicken pot pie. So we have 2 chicken mousses on top of polenta, served with a tarragon veloute and miscellaneous vegetables for carrots, mushrooms, and peas. For dessert, we have a deconstructed carrot cake with no sodium in it, with cilantro gelée and carrot rolls.